Calgary court issues warrant permitting police to do anything necessary to enter pastor's church and arrest him. Law enforcement is authorized to do anything necessary to carry out the arrest. Hey guys, this is Dan Dixie reporting for Press for Truth, and as you can tell by the title of this video, the Polish pastor who kicked out those Gestapo thugs from his church is now facing an arrest warrant. You guys may recall it was around 3 weeks ago now, during Easter Sunday service, that these Gestapo thugs showed up to his church service, and the video has now gone viral where he famously was shouting at them, ordering these Nazi thugs to get out, get out, get out, and that went viral, folks. Well, he ended up having another visit. They came back again, and he told them to get out again, and this second time has actually triggered a judge to now issue a warrant for this man's arrest. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, guys, get a load of this footage, this second encounter of these Nazi Gestapo thugs attempting to enter his premises, and just check out how he deals with it. Watch this.
Well, friends, we have a SWAT team in our church again, coming, authorities. So I'm going to go out and see what they want. Yes.
Hello, Artur.
Hi, Arthur. I wonder if I could just give you a couple of keys of the court order. This is for you. It basically outlines that we have the right to enter today. What I would really...
Please, you don't have to get into a personal space. Thank you.
Well, you're in my
Yeah,
personal
exactly.
space, so
Can I explain to you, Arthur?
I'm not
Can I-
really interested
can I-
in
can
what
I
you have to say.
explain- Can I explain to you?
I'm reading.
Okay. What we'd want to do is make sure that we're not going to disrupt anything with the service. The idea
This is you have a wrong. This is not street church. This is not street church. You have a wrong.
Both things are actually on there. Both churches are detailed on there. So if we could come and do
The
an
Cave of
inspection-
Adullam is not a registered organization, and this is not street church. So you have a wrong. You gotta
Okay.
do your homework first before you come. Okay? You have a wrong. You have a wrong organization.
Okay, that is for you, Arthur.
Yeah.
I will send it to you by email too, if you'd like. I just wanted to be able to come today and then at least explain the order, serve the order, and then we can stand at the back.
No, you can contact.
stand at the
No,
back
no, 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 no,
during
no.
the service
You
and
can
just
contact my lawyer.
We'll
Okay,
be
my
there for
lawyer
3
takes care
minutes,
of
and then
this.
we can be out of
I'm
there.
not interested to listen to any word you have to say. I do not cooperate with Gestapo. I do not talk to the Nazis. You came in your uniforms like thugs. That's what you are. Brown shirts of Adolf Hitler. You're Nazi, Gestapo, communist, fascist. I do not cooperate with Nazis. Talk to my lawyer. You're not allowed here. You're not welcomed here. And I'm not going to cooperate with Gestapo like you, okay? So is that fair enough for you?
Okay,
Talk
I
to
just
my
wanted-
lawyer.
I just wanted to explain a little bit about the order.
I'm not
I
interested.
just wanted to at least have a conversation.
I'm not
And then we
interested
can
in
talk
talking. You
about
see,
some of the
this is what the
requirements.
Gestapo is doing. You're coming to the place of worship to intimidate
We're not
and to
coming to
harass.
intimidate. We're
So
coming to
you
make
can
sure
make an
that you-
appointment. Lady, listen to me.
We can
You can
make-
make an appointment another day.
Okay, there's
You
no-
Gestapo
You don't need to shout.
another day.
You don't need to shout.
Not this day.
You don't need to shout.
Not this day.
Okay,
Not during the church.
okay,
You understand? Make an appointment.
okay, fine.
Okay, so go.
See you later on. Have a good day.
You are sick. That's what you are. And rightfully so, you change your uniforms to black because you're exactly acting like the Gestapo of old. Sickening what this country came to. Coming to the place of worship with their uniform, with their guns, again, during the time of worship. They could do it another time. They could do it another day. No, they are following the orders of the Führer, Hitler, communists. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wicked, evil people. Wicked, evil people. Unbelievable. It is what it is. If Canadians will not rise up and stand up, if they will not come to their senses, while there is still a time, while there is a time to wake up and push this evil, there will be absolutely no rights whatsoever. If they can get away with this, they're going to come anywhere else. And you know, that's what people do not understand. They think this is some kind of a game. You think that they're here for your health? Seriously? They could come any day of the week. They could call me. They could say, hey, we want to inspect your facility. We want to come. No, they want to do it during the church service because they have a purpose. They have an agenda. If you're not seeing it, then you're playing either stupid, blind, and deaf. I have been warning you for 16 years about what's coming, and it's here. And it's up to you. Either you're going to keep pushing as hard as you can, or you're going to be swollen by those people. The history is teaching us that those types of people will never stop. They're going to keep coming, keep taking your rights one after another, you know, destroying you by thousands of cuts, one cut at a time, one little law at a time, and then eventually you're going to wake up and you will be in a concentration camp, like my brother says, turned into a soap. You know, when we were warning Canadians and Americans, Westerners, about what's coming, we could smell it for many years. People were laughing at us. Oh, you're just making this stuff up. You're blowing this out of proportion. You conspiracy theorist. However, it's here. It's here. And you cannot come and worship God without the interference of the Gestapo. You cannot pray with people. You cannot associate. You cannot have a Lord's Supper together. Why? Because the government says so. You would think that this will happen in China, in Russia, but it's happening here in a Western democracy. What are you going to do about it? Will you stand up? Will you fight? Will you push? Or will you just bow to the medical tyranny, because that's what it is, and give up everything? Because they're coming for everything. Wake up or else.
Wake up or else, indeed. Well, guys, I would actually say the or else is already here. The Polish pastor who made international headlines for kicking provincial officials from his church in Alberta, Canada, is facing potential arrest after a Calgary court issued a warrant against him. Court of Queen's Bench Justice David Gates authorized police and health officials to use such reasonable force as they deem appropriate to gain access to the building of Pastor Artur Pawlowski's The Fortress Cave Adullam Church in Calgary, according to the copy of the court order obtained by Rebel News. The warrant, which was issued April 23rd, but not seen by Pawlowski's lawyer until this week, also forbids Pawlowski or anyone else from interfering with officials attempting to enter his church, and if he resists, permits law enforcement to, quote, do anything necessary to arrest him, imprison him, and drag him before a judge. The respondent, Artur Pawlowski, together with any other person at the property, shall grant access to any executive officer as defined in the Alberta Public Health Act in order for him or her to attend at the property without notice during the hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to allow the executive officers to exercise his or her powers under Section 59 of the Act. The warrant reads in part, ladies and gentlemen, do you recognize what this is? This is mafia-like behavior. This is a classic mafia tactic. It's, hey, if you want to operate here in our jurisdiction, if you want to own a business, well, you have to know that we may pop by at any given time to demand just about anything. And if you do not submit, we'll shut you down. You're not going to be able to continue. You have to just comply. That's a classic mafia tactic that this judge has just issued for these executive officers and police officers to carry out. You notice it does say up here that he permits the law enforcement to do anything necessary to arrest him and imprison him or drag him before a judge. Well, we'll talk a little bit about what anything necessary may mean. in just a little bit. In the event of the respondent, Artur Pawlowski, or any other person who refuses to grant any executive officer access to the premise, or hinders or interferes with the executive officer in the exercise of his or her powers, then any member of the police service shall be permitted to accompany and assist the executive officer and use such reasonable force as they consider appropriate to gain access to the premise and allow the executive officer or anyone assisting the executive officer to exercise his or her powers pursuant to Section 59 of the Act, the warrant also says. Now, you know what would be absolutely epic and a beautiful thing to see, guys? Would be that first we have to have the executive officer saying he needs to do this, then a member of the police service shall be permitted to accompany and assist the executive officer and use such reasonable force as they consider appropriate. By the very own judge's wording is that the police officer can use any kind of reasonable force as they consider appropriate. So what if a Christian police officer decides that it's entirely not appropriate at all to lay a finger on this man? That's within your powers there, police in Alberta, and I hope some Christian police officers will do the right thing here if they end up being assigned to this horrible task. The warrant goes on to specify that if there are any reasonable grounds for law enforcement to believe Pawlowski or anyone else has violated the court order, they are permitted to forthwith arrest that person, retain him or her, bring him or her to the earliest possible time before a justice of the court of the Queen's Bench to show cause why he or she should not remain in held contempt of court. Guys, now we're venturing from mafia into like monarch, kingship, dictatorship territory. Bring him forth before me. Make him bow down and kneel and submit before my rules. Guys, this is absolute insanity. This is against a man of the church, a man of God. Also stipulated is that an individual should not be arrested unless they have been given the opportunity to comply with the order. Oh, isn't that nice? Hey, just submit, guys. Look, we'll just lay off. We won't do anything to you. We won't arrest you. All you got to do is submit. You just have to comply. Just have to allow us in there and do what we're going to do. This man has seen where that goes before, ladies and gentlemen. You heard him say it himself, and he's not going to allow it to go there. It says it is further ordered that in making an arrest under this order, law enforcement is authorized to do anything necessary to carry out the arrest, including the use of as much reasonable force as may be necessary to make the arrest, and without warrant to enter any place where, on reasonable grounds, law enforcement believes that the offending person may be found. The judge added, the Alberta Health Services official whose name is listed as the filing party on the court order did not respond to Daly's response for request, guys. So this is what it is culminated into. They now have their sights on this man, and we need to support him now more than ever. In fact, I've been covering this topic for a long time, guys. If you go to pressfortruth.ca and you use the search feature, you'll see here pages and pages of stuff comes up. Just here on the first page, we have COVID-19 84 update, church shutdown, Ontario and BC lockdowns and vaccination info you need to know. This one, church is essential. Pastors and demonstrators clash with native climate change activists. Here I interviewed Pastor Pawlowski and the others in Alberta who are dealing with this stuff. This one, church is essential. Dan Dix at the Supreme Court. I gave a speech at the Supreme Court about the importance of maintaining churches during this time. Canceling church is spiritual warfare, and the ramifications will be disastrous for many. This one's a really important video for people to watch, guys. I'm going to include links in the description below. As you see here, we are engaged in spiritual warfare, and the enemy is on the attack. Churches all over the globe are being shut down due to COVID-19, with everyone being isolated from each other and ordered to stay away from congregating and to stay at home. The emotional, physical, and spiritual ramifications of isolation, coupled with the lack of fellowship in the church body, is already having a negative effect on society. But just because church is canceled, that doesn't mean the church is. A really important video for you guys to understand. So I'll encourage you guys to check all of these ones out, because this is ramping up. It's not just going on here in Canada with Pastor Pawlowski in Calgary, but we got crazy things going on like this in the UK as well. Christian pastor arrested in the UK, forget this, guys, saying marriage is between a man and a woman. A Christian pastor in the UK was arrested by police after a member of the public reported him for homophobic comments. A comment of saying that marriage was between a man and a woman. Yes, really. The incident occurred outside Uxbridge Station in West London. A video clip shows the elderly pastor being confronted by police and forcefully handcuffed before being led away. And he says this: "I wasn't making any homophobic comments. I was just defining marriage as a relationship between a man and a woman. I was only saying what the Bible says. I wasn't wanting to hurt anyone or cause any offense. I was doing my job, what my job description says, which is to preach the gospel in the open air and as well as in the church building." He was then arrested under the Public Order Act for using, quote, abusive or insulting words that caused harm to another person after a member of the public flagged down officers and snitched on him. Let's take a quick look at this terrible video. So he's up there on the steps. They're telling him you have to come down because somebody complained that you offended them. He's clearly just telling them, guys, I'm only saying what the Bible is saying. I'm doing my job, and they physically drag him down, pull him away, and arrest him. I will just show that part here. Drag him down. This is an old man street preacher who just said that marriage is between a man and a woman. Although the pastor was released without charge after spending a night in jail, he is still under investigation by the Crown Prosecution Service and could be charged at a later date. When the police approached me, I explained that I was exercising my religious liberty and my conscience, he said. I was forcefully pulled down from the steps and suffered some injury to my wrist and my elbow. I do believe I was treated shamefully. It should have never happened. The UK is notorious for hate crime laws, where authorities will investigate supposed hate incidents if the, quote, victim merely perceives themselves as having been victimized. Again, this is the era of the snowflake, guys. If you can just feel that you're offended, you feel that you've been victimized, you can have a street preacher shut down. That's the point where it's at. And on that note, I have to say, if you feel that your reputation has been tarnished because you have some offensive person saying something about you, I gotta let you know, you don't own your reputation. Your reputation is really just made up of thoughts that are consisting in other people's heads. You can't control that, you can't own that, and you can't control or own what somebody's opinion of you is. Taking offense to something is, and having offense and arguments and disagreements is how society progresses, actually. When you bring in these thugs who shut down free speech and basic fundamental religious rights, you know we're heading into a very, very tyrannical world, guys. So here we have pastor being arrested in the UK, and we have this Calgary pastor who famously and epically kicked out the Gestapo, now facing the mafia courts as they're going to come in and attempt to arrest them. And as they said in the court order, no warning, no appointment necessary. We may show up at any given time. If you don't comply, you'll be arrested. Guys, stay tuned as we continue to cover this. I'm going to continue to pay attention to this one. We may even take a trip down to Alberta and try to get a hold of him before this happens. So stay tuned as we continue to cover this one moving forward, guys. Also, don't forget to check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. If you do appreciate our efforts to bring you this information, here you can make a one-time donation with PayPal. You can contribute Bitcoin by clicking on this link here. Bitcoin's doing pretty good. If anybody's been holding, you feel like contributing, just click right there. You can also become a patron by clicking on this Patreon banner right here. There's also other cryptocurrency you can donate. You can do an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box. Links are located in the description below. Once again, guys, just wanted to bring that one to your attention today. The church is under attack. Christianity is under attack. And we really need to support guys like Pastor Artur Pawlowski today, who are standing up against these Nazi Gestapo thugs in the face of what is amounting to what can be called no less than spiritual warfare. If you guys agree, click that thumbs up button, share this video, and thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.